All right, so Bitcoin, right? Everybody wants to know what's going to happen.
Yeah, it's the $1,000,000 question, or maybe more like the $100,000 question, right?
Exactly. So that's exactly what we're diving into today. We're going to try to make some sense of all this with some help.
From a very special guest.
Yeah, a popular analyst who calls himself Master Kenobi.
Interesting choice.
Well, predicting the future of Bitcoin using the Force.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So Kenobi, he's really into looking for these patterns in Bitcoin's price history. And get this, he found one, this 88-day repeating pattern.
88 days.
Yeah, and it looks kind of similar to something that happened before that last big bull market back in late 2023.
Oh, right. That was a wild ride. But I guess for anyone who isn't, super familiar with all the crypto lingo, what exactly do we mean by a bull market?
Right. So bull market, it's basically when everything's going up, prices are rising, people are feeling good, optimistic. It's a time when, you could potentially make some serious profits.
Good times.
Exactly. And Kenobi, he thinks we might be heading for another one of those good times based on this 88-day cycle he's found. It's almost like, think of it like mountains, right? Yeah, like see a mountain range. And some of those peaks and valleys, they kind of look the same. And that's what Kenobi's saying. These similar patterns in the price, they might be able to predict those future peaks, those bull markets.
I see. So what's the prediction then? When's this bull market supposed to hit, and how high are we talking?
Well, hold on to your hats, because by January 31st, 2025, Kenobi is saying Bitcoin could hit $124,300.
Wow, that's a serious jump. I mean, even for Bitcoin, which we know can be super volatile.
Oh, yeah. It's an 18% increase from where we are right now. I mean, it's huge.
Definitely not for the faint of heart. But it's interesting, right? We've already seen a pretty big surge in Bitcoin just this year.
Oh, absolutely. 2024 has been pretty wild for crypto. And, a lot of that, I think, comes from those big institutional investors finally starting to, dip their toes in the water.
Yeah, you're right. It's like they've finally given Bitcoin that seal of approval, like, okay, maybe this is a legit asset class after all.
Right, and that definitely contributes to those price increases.
No doubt. But, what's also interesting?
What's that?
Bitcoin actually hit a new record for its atom count.
Atom count. What is that? Like, how many atoms are in a Bitcoin?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not exactly sure what atoms are in Bitcoin, but apparently it hit 106,352 atoms per whatever.
Per Bitcoin.
Yeah.
That's wild. But, even with all this positive stuff, we gotta be realistic, right? I mean, predicting the future of, well, anything, especially something as wild as Bitcoin, it's not exactly a sure thing.
Oh, absolutely. You hit the nail on the head there. Financial markets, they're inherently unpredictable. I mean, we can look at patterns, we can analyze trends, but nothing's guaranteed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Kenobi's prediction, it's just that, a prediction. It's one analyst's perspective.
Right. And it's a compelling one, don't get me wrong, but it's important to remember there are so many factors that can, throw things off course. We've got to stay informed, do our own research.
100%. And that's what we're all about here on the Deep Dive.
Yeah.
Right, giving you the info, the tools you need to make your own decisions. So we've got this 88-day cycle. We've got institutional investors jumping in. But then there's also the whole question of regulations.
Oh, yeah. Governments around the world, they're still figuring out how to approach this whole crypto thing. And depending on what they decide, those regulations, they could have a huge impact, positive or negative, on Bitcoin's future.
Absolutely. It's like this big looming question mark hanging over everything. It's a lot to consider. And, it makes you think, right?
It really does.
So,
what do you mean?
Well, if this prediction is based on this 88-day cycle, are there, other cycles out there that we haven't even discovered yet? Longer-term trends that could, completely change the game?
That's a great question. What if there's a 5-year cycle or a 20-year cycle that nobody's even noticed yet?
Right, that could make this 88-day thing look like, small potatoes.
Exactly.
So much to think about.
Yeah, that's the beauty of it. There's always more to learn, more to discover.
And that's why we always say, do your own research. Don't just take our word for it, or Kenobi's for that matter. Explore, dig deep, and see what you find.
That's the best way to navigate this exciting, but sometimes confusing world of crypto.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Until next time, may the force be with you and your crypto portfolio.
And with yours. Happy investing, everyone.